Welcome back to Instables, everyone. So we have a lot to catch up on today. We have a lot of Russia and Ukraine news coming out today. And then we had our FOMC meeting coming out today. Jerome Powell was speaking. I'm going to go over this with you guys. We had a large green candle coming into close. So the question is, are we going to continue on with this momentum? And also, if you guys are looking for intraday perspective breakouts, meaning breakouts within the same day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss breakout alert today again. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the S&P 500, so you guys can see exactly where we may be headed next. We finally are jumping back over our 20-day moving average with the body of our candle, so that does show us a lot of bullish signals. Now, we started the day with Ukraine's President Zelensky addressing the U.S. that he needed more military power, and also did mention that he wanted Biden to be the leader of peace. And then we had Ukraine and Russia about 30 minutes after open, mentioning that they were drawing up a neutrality plan. And then shortly after, you would have thought that Russia was the one that rejected this neutrality plan, but it was actually Ukraine that rejected this neutrality plan, so it must have not been something that Ukraine was interested in based on Russia's conditions. However, this could be taken as possible good news to come if they continue to talk more about neutrality. And then we had Biden live about an hour before this FOMC meeting, and then he did respond to Zelensky's request on military weapons. He said that he was going to send them drones, which is a lot better than a lot of other things that could have been sent. And then shortly after, we had this FOMC meeting, and as you guys can see here on the 5-minute chart, we had a major pullback as we were leading this FOMC meeting. We had that data coming out. And one thing he did mention is that we are going to have a double rate hike in May. So we are leading into a double rate hike. The question is, are we going to continue on up leading into this rate hike in May, or are we going to continue on up and possibly get rejected and continue on down just like we did today leading into this FOMC meeting? So going to the daily chart with you guys can see here based on all of that news, we do have our 435 level that we are testing. And then we have our next level here at 447.50 that we are going to be looking to see if we can bounce back over. This 447.50 level is very key. We did have a lot of consolidation at this point. We also did continue on down from this point after we did have our major pullback leading into Powell mentioning possible increases in rate hikes. So as you guys can see here, we have our large momentum candle to the upside here. We have an increase in volume. And as you guys can see here on our MACD, we do have an increase in buy pressure. We are breaking just above our previous buy pressure point, showing us that we still could continue on up. And we do have our EMA lines crossing up here, showing us that we still could continue on up. So we are leaning more bullish than bearish on our MACD. And as you guys can see on the RSI here, we are pointing up here. If we do get above our median here on the RSI, it does show us that we still could continue on up on a possible continuation. So we are very much testing the median of our relative strength index here. Again, we did have our bullish divergence previously, and we were looking to see if we can continue on up, or if we were going to continue on down, then we would be looking for that continuation on down below our previous lows. And as you guys can see, we have a major spike here. We are breaking above our previous highs here, showing us that we still could continue on up. So again, we have a lot of bullish momentum here that does show us that we could continue on up. We do have our 435 level, and then our next level again here is at 447.50. So in my opinion, as long as we do continue to respect this 20-day moving average and we do not continue on down below it, we did get a strong momentum candle to the upside, breaking above it. So we want to see if we can hold this 20-day moving average, because if we can, then we could possibly bounce back over and get our 50-day moving average to cross back under our 20 possibly to get that stronger momentum that we're looking for here in the market. But again, we are still digesting for the next couple of days. We want to see exactly how the market feels about holding these levels, if we're going to continue on up, or if we're going to possibly retrace going to tomorrow. We have had that happen multiple times with CPI reports. Sometimes we've had that with Powell where we had a continuation on up, but however, we had that digestion and retracement to the downside, and we could not hold these levels. Now, jumping into our Bollinger Bands here, as you guys can see, we came down and we tested exactly on our Bollinger Band a couple days ago, and we had this doji candle going into yesterday as we had a lot of indecisiveness going into today. And as you guys can see, we do have that strength to the upside because we do have our Bollinger Band pointing up here on the second deviation, moving up here. So that does show us that we still could continue on up. We're going to see if we can hold 435 going into tomorrow. And again, looking for that 447.50 break so we can get that stronger momentum to the upside. Now, Powell did mention that he was going to leave us with a double rate hike. So we are leading into May with an expected double rate hike. So we will keep that in mind leading into May, but we do, again, have this large momentum candle to the upside, a very nice strong close to the day. I'm very glad how this turned out because this could have been a large momentum candle to the downside, but Powell did not mention anything on increases in rate hikes this month. And also very key, he did not mention anything on balance sheet runoffs, which just like we mentioned yesterday, we were going to continue on up if he did not mention much on balance sheet runoffs. And sure enough, we did. So again, just keeping an eye on this momentum. We are going to see if we can continue on up and hopefully test this 447.50 level and continue on past it. But again, leading jumping into May's double rate hike. We'll see exactly how we do continue on up or how exactly we do retrace and respect our 20-day moving average going into next week. Now, again, with that said, if you are looking for intraday perspective breakouts, meaning breakouts within the same day, if you guys are day traders, go to instabulls.com in the description below. For only $15 a month, you guys will never miss a breakout like that again. Even as crazy as today was, pretty nice breakouts throughout the day, to be honest. And also, don't forget to keep an eye on UAVS and VISL. Biden did mention that he was going to give drones to Ukraine, so these drone stocks could get momentum, so we will keep an eye on these. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.